Kevin McCullough.
Welcome back. So honored to have Riley Gaines joining us. You may know her as the face of the women's sports controversy. I mean, there's been lots of people that have said, hey, this isn't fair. Very few have put their toe on the line and said, I'm not letting go of this until we fix it. And that's been Riley's approach. The Independent Women's Forum has helped champion that message as well. I think Kelsey Bowler was the first person to tell me about the girls running track in Connecticut and boys taking scholarships away from them. And from that day forward, I've just said, this is unjust, and it has to come to an end. And Riley, to that end, there are some lawsuits working their way through the systems right now. I think some of your former teammates have banded together. I think some of the UPenn teammates banded together.
If you compare now to 2 years ago, I mean, it's like we're not even talking about the same issue, because people have found their voice.
Yeah.
People are more bold. They're more unapologetic in saying that's a man. It's kind of like the emperor wears no clothes parable, which I guess is quite literal in this sense.
I was about to say, in that locker room, that was a piece of the story. But don't you also think that fathers, like, there's something ingrained in me that if you had been my daughter, like, hell would have frozen over before I would have tolerated it.
We have seen a major failure on behalf of parents, I think. I get parents who reach out to me every single day who say, hey, thanks for doing what you do. This is happening to my daughter in this school district. Can you say something? I can't, because I work a corporate job and I can't, lose my job. But is this something that you can do? Which, of course, I've made this my mission, absolutely. But it breaks my heart when I read.
It'd be so much more powerful if the parents were the ones saying it.
Yeah, it's like, do I have to care about your kid more than you do? But we're seeing teams forfeit, which is huge. This is a movement that is now in motion, and I call this movement, I've labeled it as Project Boycott, with emphasis being on boy. So we've seen 2 high school teams in New Hampshire, even just within this month, who forfeited a team with a male who was playing girls high school soccer. We've seen 5 now. Mountain West Conference women's volleyball teams forfeit against San Jose State University for having a male on their team taking a scholarship and a roster spot and a travel spot from a hardworking, deserving woman. We've seen even just this week, we saw 275 professional golfers involved with the LPGA sign on to a letter urging and imploring the LPGA to remove a man who is just qualified for a Q school, which is one step closer to qualifying for the LPGA golf tour. I mean, really crazy stuff. And so, yes, we would have not seen any of those things 2 years ago.
Yeah.
We didn't see those things.
All right.
2 years
So a lot of this came down the pike in the last 4 years, because the day that Joe Biden and Kamala Harris were sworn into office, they sent an edict to the educational institutions across the country, mostly the public schools, that federal funds would be withheld from those local districts for things like giving poor kids breakfast and those types of things, if they did not enforce a gender ideology curriculum that is, in essence, mandated that what you went through at the University of Kentucky in your experiences with Leah Thomas, that be mandated in schools across the country, from elementary to high schools. It was a blackmail to the school districts. It was a complete betrayal of parents and families across this country. But I think that's really where a lot of the fear came, that the government was now going to take a position on this. So I'm just real quick in the final minute that we have with you. What's your thought about how important it is for people to vote on November 5th?
I mean, I can't stress the importance enough. There's so much at stake, right? On all of the issues as it pertains to national security, the economy. I mean, the list goes on, but in specifically talking about this issue, the UN just released a study that said I think the number is 1,055 women have had medals taken away from men. That's just what they've been able to track and keep a record of. So don't believe that narrative that is being pushed, and understand a vote for Kamala Harris is a vote against your daughter's future.
This issue is going to no doubt be still fought in the days to come. Thank you for spending time with us this time, and please come back. We want to be a champion for you and for what you're doing, because my daughter and all my friends' daughters are worth fighting for, and I want to keep fighting a good fight until we know for sure that they have what they need. But thank you for all that you've done.
No doubt about it. Thank you. And be sure to tell your daughter I say hi.
We'll do that. Riley Gaines, thank you so much. Kevin McCullough coming right back from Times Square. Don't go away.